We've got the minutes. Have you guys had changes or additions? Oh, have you got an extra copy?
Yes, I think I did.
You want to mentally read through that? Are you good? No, you good? Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Well, that's right. I guess you don't get. All in. We want to approve the minutes. All in favor.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the March 4th and March 23rd minutes of our meetings.
All in favor.
I'll second that.
All in favor.
Aye.
Aye.
Yeah. The ayes have it. We're open for business. John, you want to start? Since you were here last time, we'll just let you go ahead and third time is charm, I guess.
Hi, John Armstrong with Delmonico Winery. I do have a picture of the sign.
Good.
And also the other picture that I think you already have. It's got the awnings on it and the placement of the sign.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So the sign is 5 feet by 5 feet.
Perfect. Thank you. Oh, that's fine. Is that steel? So it's CNC cut out of steel? Yeah.
That's actually a piece that's cut out at 16 gauge galvanized steel. And it's going to sit off the building on some
Kind of
feet.
space it out. Yeah.
It's going to be spaced off the building.
Going to use the brick as the backing, or are you going to put a white backing, or what do you?
No, it's just the brick is going to be the backing. So the brick will show through where you see the white.
Yeah.
And it looks really good.
He's already. You already got it.
We
up.
already got it, yeah.
Yeah.
I just haven't hung it yet.
And,
So, waiting on y'all.
Yeah, well, it looks great in this picture, yeah. So it would just be centered above the door. Does it get a light fixture above it?
Well,
or
we're planning on that, but there's not any,
power up there.
there's not power right there right now. So that goes off behind that brick, right where that dot is, goes in over above so I don't think it'll be hard to do.
Yeah.
And it'll be the same light, of course, the rest of it.
Yeah.
Now, it will have the outline will be just as you have it here.
Right.
And your drawing here is just a rectangle, but that's just
Oh,
to
well,
show
yeah,
it generally.
well, it's a rectangle there, yeah, but it's going to be square
It
shaped.
won't be in a square rectangle base or mount. It'll be free mounted like that.
Right, yes, sir.
I move we approve it, Mr. Chairman.
It's really cool looking. It's a nice sign, so yeah, I think it'll be really good. looking.
I'll second it.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Ayes have it. All against? Nay. Ayes have it. John, you're approved.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All right. Thank you. That looks good. I'm anxious to see that up. Are you guys getting close to being ready? Well, it's probably not light either, yeah. How's the grand opening going? I mean, getting ready for it, y'all.
Yeah, it's going good.
Yeah.
We're going to have a soft opening.
17th, right, yeah.
And we pushed the ribbon cutting back. I talked to Austin. It's kind of chaotic that weekend. So we're going to push the ribbon cutting back a little bit into May and have a grand opening.
Perfect, yeah. We're excited about it.
Very good.
Yeah.
Sorry I missed you.
Oh, yeah. I do want to get by. It looks good inside.
Yeah.
I think it's going
Well, it's
to
a lot better now. I got it cleaned out.
Yeah. All right. And you're utilizing the back area back there as well, right?
Yes, sir. Right now, there's going to be a cheesecake lady, I think, is going to be utilizing some of that space.
Interesting.
And then we're also going to, of course, have during the Mario lawn sale, we'll have Jay Johnson come out and play with the band. And Cousin's Main Lobster's going to have a truck back there. So
Oh, wow. Nice. Yeah.
lobster rolls,
Yeah.
lobster rolls and
Yeah.
Chardonnay.
Yeah. Perfect. Sounds good. All right. Thank you. I appreciate your time. Yeah.
Thanks, John.
We have another point of business. Chad, and I can't remember your last name. Flat. Chad has taken a space on Main Street. It's the old alleyway building there.
Oh.
So if you want to address now, we'd be glad to go ahead and let you get started.
I'm a new kid in town.
What's the name again?
Don't beat me up too bad.
What's the name again?
My name is Chad Flatt.
Chad Flatt.
Chad, if you don't mind, get all of them when you get up there. I don't know. Packet for everyone.
I think Donna texted me, said she's doing some work for you.
She is.
Good. Yeah, they're great.
She's been a huge help.
Yeah, she's very talented.
So, as I said, my name is Chad Flatt. I own Music City Toys and Collectibles, and we're going to have our grand opening May 1st at 101 West Main Street. The building has been not used for retail or as a business in several years. I think it was a children's boutique a few years ago. But a lady's kind of been storing her stuff there for the last 3 or 4 years. So we're turning it back into something that we feel is going to bring something unique to the town. First page there, page number 2, is just kind of a rough mock-up of what the storefront would look like with the graphics and the signage. That's not necessarily to scale, it's just, as I said, rough.
Concept.
Right, exactly. And page 3, item by item, kind of goes into detail about each thing. The store sign above the front door will measure 48 by 32, as you said, Donna, at Sun Graphics is taking care of that for us. The lower left window will be used to describe the main product categories that we sell. We'll just have standard vinyl text in the windows. We'll also have a small LED open sign that'll light up when we're open there that we'll put in the window there.
Right.
It'll measure approximately 14 by 8 inches or less. It'll be small. The front door will contain text used to drive customers to our social media platforms and advertise the main brands of wrestling action figures that we sell, which is one of our huge core parts of our business. I don't know if we have any wrestling fans in the house, but we do a lot with pro wrestling. That's kind of what we're known for. We've been in business for going on 20 years now. Wow. And existed online. We also had a retail location in Cookeville for several years. But that'll draw a lot of people in because those two brands carry a lot of weight in the collectibles world.
I see. The two logos in the lower portion.
Yes, sir.
Of the door,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, WWE and AEW. Yeah. Those are the two main wrestling organizations in America.
Okay.
You're going to rotate those out? Is that what that says?
The right window where the grand opening poster is in the image there, we'll use that window to rotate different signage for the autograph guests that we'll have in store, whoever the next one is coming up. As you see on the sign there, I don't know if anybody here is a UFC or MMA fan. Dan the Beast Severn will be at our grand opening, UFC Hall of Famer. He'll be there signing autographs on May 1st and 2nd. After that, we have Butch Patrick, who portrayed Eddie Munster on the Munsters. He'll be with us May 21st. We also have a couple other pro wrestling legends coming in, Tatanka and Demolition. And we'll have somebody monthly, or sometimes more often than that. Wow. But that's something that we feel like is unique to the area that'll bring a lot of attention to us and the town. Upper windows will contain a mural of pop culture icons and pro wrestling stars of the 70s and 80s. Kind of encompasses what we sell, all the different genres. Something that'll be very eye-catching. You know, a strong social media presence is a necessity for any small business to survive and thrive. I think everybody knows that in this day and age.
Right.
With the addition of that mural across those windows, we feel like it'll create a instant social media post. Somebody will want to take a picture out front, post it on Instagram, post it on Facebook, Twitter, whatever. Hashtag Music City Toys, hashtag Watertown TN, you know, all the different hashtags that will not only draw eyeballs to us, but as well as the other small businesses in the community. We feel like it'll be something that'll generate a lot of traffic. We have over 11,000 social media followers ourselves, all organic. We've never paid for any sort of boosted ad or anything online. We've done it all from scratch ourselves. So far, we have customers confirmed traveling in from many different states to our grand opening, all over the state of Tennessee, also Kentucky, Missouri, Arkansas, Indiana, Ohio, Wisconsin, people driving from Minnesota, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, several from the Chicago area. So we have a pretty strong following online, and all those hardcore collectors, they'll travel to shop with us, and a lot of them are coming in on May 1st that weekend, and that'll be good for everybody in town, I feel like. So we're already starting to share some of the other local businesses with our followers, let them know, hey, check these places out while you're in town too, you know, because we want to see everybody, you know, thrive. So
Who owns that building?
it is owned by Freeman Webb Real Estate Company. Bradley Jones is the guy that I went through.
Did you buy the building?
No,
You're leasing it?
I'm just leasing the space, yes, sir. So for the next 3 years, I'll be there at least, hopefully much longer.
Good, yeah. So.
But, you know, I grew up in a small town. I think, was that the guy from Delmonico that was in there?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, well, I grew up in a small town in Putnam County, around Cookville.
Yeah.
High school at Upperman High in Baxter. We used to play Watertown football. I remember
Still
those
do.
trips. Remember those trips well. Usually got beat, that's okay.
It's not that way now.
But that was one of the things that attracted me. You know, we've lived in Wilson County now for 13 years, going on 14, and I didn't really know that much about Watertown, to be honest, compared to living in Mount Juliet. And I was talking to my realtor, and I said, you know, I want to stay in Wilson County. And I said, well, what about Watertown? She said, well, we'll see what's out there. And she presented this building to me, and I just fell in love with that space. I love the fact that it is older. It's got a lot of character. I really like it. I think we can do a lot with it to create a unique environment there. And
I think it's set empty there for a bit. So
yeah,
that's great.
It did, so.
You don't really have, you correct me if I'm wrong, but you don't really have any regulation of the advertising that's on the windows for the most part, as long as it's indoors.
As far as the guidelines or the city, our guidelines.
Your guidelines.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as he's not modifying
The structure.
and the paint, if you will.
Right.
I'm assuming these are like vinyl decals.
They are. There'll be no
Are they
structural
gonna be inside
modifications
or
at
out?
all.
Are they gonna be inside or
They'll be
outside?
inside, yeah.
Inside.
They'll be inside.
And they'll be like vinyl adhered to the glass.
Yeah.
Is Don and Pat working on that for you
Yeah,
as well?
we're gonna do that also. Yeah.
Awning would go over that door, wouldn't it?
Well, I mean, you feel like you've covered everything.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
mean,
let's go ahead.
No,
finish.
finish the question.
Yeah.
Tom, you don't see any violation of what you're saying.
No, what I'm saying is I don't see any violation. I will say, it's just
different.
because of the product that it's a little bit garish.
It's
but
a little
that-
busy.
But that's nothing that, they really, if you were painting it on the building, they might
Right.
have something to say about it.
Right.
You know.
And that's to me, that's part of the appeal, because
Yeah,
people getting off the train, walking up the street are gonna see those
The only thing
windows.
about his proposal that I see that you may have a little bit of input on is his sign itself. But I think it probably, just based on the scale he's got, I've not measured it, but it looks as though it meets the sign ordinance.
Right.
Yeah.
The opening sign,
The sign
Music
above
City
the
noise
sign above the door.
And they have
yeah,
measured,
yeah.
they had the
Yeah.
previous, I guess, the boutique that was in there.
Yeah.
And they used the same measurements and
Yeah.
everything to stay.
Donna
within-
and Pat are gonna know by
Yeah,
now.
and the
They've
wood's
done-
still up there, so they can put it right on there without having to do anything.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, go ahead. I want you to feel like you finished out, like there's a couple more pages here, or those
Yeah.
just representational of.
Right, yeah, these are just examples
Yeah,
of like the open sign we would use.
Like what you would use for advertising.
Right, yeah,
on the rotating signs.
yes, sir, yes, sir. That's the next three signage we have coming up. And,
No, these are advertising that would be in that right-hand facing.
That we
the
would
building,
rotate.
right-hand window. Yeah, and that is that just setting in the window, or is it applied to the
it'll be a
window?
poster that's just stuck to the window.
Yeah, yeah.
On the inside, yeah.
So it would change.
It would, yeah.
Yeah.
Once we got through one event, we would put up the poster for the next one. So.
All right.
And then the final page is a bigger view of the graphics that are in the upper windows. But we were here last weekend working over there when we met met Mike,
Yeah.
and I watched, and my wife was with me and my children, and we kind of watched, when the train unloaded, we watched all the people.
There's a lot of people.
We were eating at the little Mexican restaurant down there, and in about 10 seconds flat, you couldn't move in there.
Yeah.
I mean, it was packed. So.
I actually stopped because I complimented it on him getting rid of the diapers.
We heard
up in the
The
trench.
diapers. that were
Oh, on the
in
windows,
back,
yeah.
We heard that at least 10 times Saturday.
Oh,
We were
man.
taking those down. So
I don't know how long those been up there. I can't even remember.
What's the dimensions on that building inside that you're dealing with?
I should have brought that. I may have it. 60 by 20 on the bottom floor, I believe.
60, is there a second floor in it?
There is. It's a
kind of a mezzanine like?
yeah, and it's got a low ceiling, so we're just going to use that area for storage. We're not going to have people going up and down the steps or anything.
So it kind of overlooks the main,
About
mezzanine.
maybe a third of it. Yeah, it doesn't go all the way to the front.
Yes.
These three trains on windows, you're not really doing anything to those, or replacing the windows or anything? You're just
No.
putting the final
No,
decal
just putting it right on there. Yeah.
Which I assume is fairly reusable.
Yeah.
Oh,
It'd be just like those diapers, I guess.
Except those were on the outside, and the
Yeah.
sun had baked them on, so we had to
Yeah,
do some scraping to
really,
get them off there.
Yeah. Is this the actual artwork you're going to use?
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
that's
the
what
actual
they
poster.
put together. All right, I guess we're open for discussion.
Well, based on the staff's comments.
Recommendation, yeah.
And,
I really don't have a recommendation, but you can take it based on the comments, but
I call it comments,
yeah, I don't see a whole lot
Tom, but
that he's doing that y'all have a lot of.
Right. Well, besides the sign, I guess.
Besides the
Yeah.
your business is heavy on social media, isn't it?
Yes,
As far as,
sir.
but nevertheless, a storefront does afford you some visitation and curiosity from your
Oh yeah, for
clientele
sure.
too, doesn't
For
it?
sure, yeah. So we've done, for the last several years since we closed our Cookville location, we've traveled the country and set up at different conventions, like comic book conventions, things of that nature. And so we got a lot of people that follow us. Wherever show we're doing, they'll come shop with
That'd
us.
give you an opportunity to do something like that here. Set up
Right,
some kind of
exactly. And
event.
that's my plan eventually, yeah, for
See,
sure.
that would attract a train or a.
Right.
That's exactly what he was talking earlier. I thought they could do a train based on what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could probably fill a train based on what
There's
you
a
do.
lot of, if it's like most hobbies and interests like that, there is a tremendous following to those.
Some of the wrestling figures, and this comes from my youth, but are curiosities in them. I mean, Andre the Giant,
Pretty highly collective.
he was highly collective, but he also took up 3 airplane seats, stuff like that. He's a big guy. Could see a wax figure. inside
They
the
were
store.
and are conversation
That's
pieces.
correct. Yes.
And I will say that the pandemic, the past year plus, has set the collectibles world on fire. The market has been unbelievable. I don't know if
Really?
you've seen any news stories about some of the items that have sold at auction and things.
Yeah, I
of that
saw
nature.
like a Mantle 53 card sold for like
There's
5.2.
sports cards that have,
Like a 53.
every time
52
one
Mantle.
sells, it breaks the previous record, and it's on a monthly basis now.
I don't see how it can
You got any
continue.
Stretch
It's
Armstrong?
insane. We've sold it. We did have one. We don't have one right now.
What's the car auction house? You see him in Vegas a lot.
Barrett Jackson.
Barrett Jackson.
Barrett Jackson.
Golly. Seen such prices in my life.
Oh, it's been, last year, we didn't do any conventions, obviously, because everything was closed and shut down. We had a record year just on sales online, 100%. So it's been,
Mr. Chairman, I'm gonna make a move, we make a motion, we approve this. Do we need to, and in that motion, do we need to request that he give us some progress reports maybe on it? What do you think?
Maybe how far along are you? Are you pretty far?
she's ready to start tomorrow.
Yeah.
She's got everything. She's
Tom,
got,
I'm not gonna hold a motion to ask you a question. Should we ask for a progress report?
I mean, the only thing that you would need, I think you can counsel him that if you do any type of modification to the structure or to the exterior colors, if you decide all of a sudden, no, you know what, we're going to paint this or something,
Paint the brick or?
you need to come back here
Yeah,
for that.
what's the your main logo sign? What's it made out of? What are they doing?
they have not told me the material they're gonna use yet.
I would bet
something on wood
I would
or
bet
on
like
metal.
what is it called, MDO, like the paper
Yeah.
face plywood.
Yeah,
or
Yeah,
Part of-
composite type
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
That's what I think.
yeah. They'll,
Stick it
they'll
on
prime
there.
that and
They did
paint
pretty
it.
good. They,
and put it on
pretty
India.
good.
Yeah.
Okay, but is it
Did
gonna
you
be?
give them that?
is
They
it gonna
may have
be-
that digital. They'll print it. They'll do it in vinyl then, probably. They have this digitally.
Gotta be an overlay on some.
Yeah,
some
right, yeah.
material, wood,
Substrate.
metal, plastic.
Yeah.
Something.
John, I mean,
If
this
they
is
can
just
just
my,
make sure they paint the edges to match whatever's on the, out, see what I'm
She
saying?
had asked me if I wanted just a rectangle or if I wanted it cut out, and I said, I prefer to have it cut out.
Yeah, that's nice. I think that.
What'd you say, Tom?
based on what I'm seeing here, if this is the extent of what he's doing, I don't really see a need for a progress
Okay.
report unless he starts doing additional things. Like if you decide you want to put it, if you do decide you want to put a canopy on and maybe put this logo on the canopy,
Yeah,
come back and see us.
right, yeah.
Anything that alters the building.
Right, yeah, there's none of that in the plans. at
Drew, do
least
you have
not in the
something to
near
say?
future.
The only thing that's jumping out to me when I'm looking at this is there's no precedent, and it's not something I have that's regulatory on behalf of us. Is that if you drive around the square, I mean those diapers have been up in that transom. if you take your hand and you cover the transom, I'm there.
Yeah.
Okay, it's the stickers, it's the collages in the transom.
It's a little too busy, maybe. That's maybe.
There's a lot going on.
There's so much
But
going
does that
on.
violate our rules?
Right.
That's it. So
It's
all
an
it is-
aesthetic. It's an aesthetic.
That's it.
Yeah.
All it is it's discussion.
I get what you're saying.
It's just discussion, and I can say it, and I can make a recommendation that I would love not to see anything in the transoms. But I even love your logo, and I love that she's going to cut out the shape of the sign. I think that's
very
slick.
cool.
Yeah.
I don't even mind the rotational thing at the pedestrian level. This is sort of, I mean, you're not squared up on Depot Street, but when you drive down Depot Street, it terminates in Pioneer Building.
Let's go
But it's right there. So it's one of the main sort of feeders into the square. And it's not that it's not, I'm sure it's a very, I don't know the business, and I bet you're right. It's a very big attractant. They see, hey, this has my guy, or this is my collector, this is one of my people. My only thing is, I don't even mind the rotational stuff in the windows. To me, it's how busy the collage is in the transom. It's just, there's a lot going on.
Here it is. But by and large, there's no rule about that, but I get what you're saying.
And that's by design.
Yeah.
That's by design, because a lot of our customers are comic book readers.
Right.
Bright colors and all that pop, and people are going to drive by and what is that? And they're going to be
We're not
interested.
involved in like an industrial board or someone or a chamber trying to acquire businesses for the community. But what I do like about this in regard to that,
He's
you
going to bring
have
a
to
whole
address
other
it.
group of people in.
A
Yeah.
whole different
Correct.
group of people, and it also, his business does not totally rely on retail specifically in Watertown. That speaks volumes to me about the success. Plus, it's an extension of his already existing business. We're not a guinea pig on this.
Right.
And so I like
I mean,
those
in-
components.
But you're
And he's
using,
committed if
he's
you've got it for
using, if I understand it correctly, he's using the existing transom windows. He's not replacing them.
No.
Is that a 2x6 above it, or what is that?
That's just a header.
Level like
I
it.
think that's the steel beam that they've painted.
Steel
It's
beam?
probably the steel header.
I mean, it's a little blurry, so I couldn't tell.
Yeah, it kind of got blurred.
But if he's using the existing stuff,
What's that?
if he's using the existing structural elements, I don't know really what you could do. And I mean,
Right.
Doc Brown could probably tell me how this was a modification to the building that is corrupt or something, but I
I
don't,
don't think that looks all that bad.
no.
The
I'm not
only-
talking about the advertisement at this point, even though I agree with you, they're a little garish, but I'm not a comic book guy, so I,
Correct. and
Yeah.
It's not something
Yeah.
we can necessarily. I don't have
Regulate.
a dog. I don't have a dog in the fight.
right.
And if it's essential to the business, that's something I don't know about. I'm
Right.
just not in it. So I'm agreeing with you on that. I'm just saying that we're in the past 4 or 5 years, we've almost without intentionally doing it, we're starting to brand ourselves a little bit.
Yeah.
So as these buildings start to turn over, we're getting back that look. You know, we'll build it piece by piece, building by building, and as each one goes by, it's more of the constructed, as not the digitized, but more of the constructed way of.
Or of a handcrafted kind of
That's
feel.
right. We're sort of looking at, it's more of that
Yeah.
look, and it's a brand thing that's evolving. It's not, and it's happening piece by piece.
agree.
But as we've in the past couple years, as we've gone through a few of these buildings,
Let me ask you this: could that be represented in a more comic book fashion as opposed to a photographic fashion?
It's hard to tell in that representation. Those actually are paintings. The image was taken and digitally
It's these three
painted.
photos, is it not?
Huh?
It's these three photos, is it
Yes,
not?
yes, and they have an oil painted effect to them that was done digitally. That's to avoid any copyright
You
issues.
can tell, like Daisy Duke looks painted.
Right. Yeah, you can tell on some of them more than others.
The wrestling one, I really can't tell is
Yeah.
painted.
yeah, maybe if it were more stylized in sort of a retro comic
Yeah.
book
I
way,
mean, I
I,
think
would
that's
be.
what I was trying
I
to
would
say.
think that would be really.
But again,
catchy.
that's an aesthetic opinion.
That's a
I don't think
recommendation.
we can regulate that.
That's
Yeah,
it. That's
right.
only a recommendation we can make during discussion. It's nothing.
And I think it's good to bring that out too.
Because I'm designer, artist, illustrator for 40 years.
Yeah.
And I love, I'm not a comic collector, but I love the art.
Right.
And I totally appreciate the skill that it takes
Yeah,
to
I'm the
create.
exact same way. I don't
Yeah.
collect any of the stuff that I sell.
Yeah, but I'm always been fascinated by the
Yeah.
comic book art, and I love the stylized representation of it.
And my logo was actually done by a friend of mine who's an artist who drew it all freehand.
That's what I
nice,
think
yeah.
I like is I
Yeah.
wish if you were doing some of the transients, I wish it was in the spirit of
The sign.
that.
Yeah.
not-
And that was the original
Yeah.
plan. He was actually going to do the design for me, but he's got a degenerative health issue and he's losing use of his hands, so he couldn't do it for me. So I had to find someone else. So
Mr. Chairman, I'm going to move that we approve this. This Music City Toys and Collectibles.
I'll second that.
We have a motion to approve. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All against? Ayes have it. You're good to go.
And also, hey,
I'd
thank
love
you.
to talk to Donna a little bit about this. I just wonder if there's something they could do. Would you be opposed to that?
No.
Yeah, if it just had a little bit more of that flat cartoon kind
Right,
of,
right. Yeah, no, that's
comic
fine.
book kind of.
Yeah, let her look at it.
flavor to it. Yeah.
she can do
Graphic
I mean,
novel
she's-
type
Yeah,
animation.
exactly.
Donna's not least for words. She'll be able to.
Yeah.
And thanks.
And Donna and Pat are both extremely talented.
They are.
Yeah.
They are very.
Yeah.
But if you look close at the blow up, like I said, the bottom panel that has Daisy Duke and some others in it, you can tell some of those are illustrated, or at least modified to look illustrated.
Yeah.
By computer generation or something.
Yeah,
The
if you
wrestling,
look at it really closely, but still to me, it's a photo montage.
it is.
And blown up on the windows.
The wrestling one looks like a photo montage to me. I agree with you.
But thank you also for coming to us with a pretty
Yeah.
comprehensive and
Yeah.
clear, and
Yeah.
at least
We
you
don't
were
get
able to
it.
show us and explain us and walk us through each one. So
I mean, that's why John had to come back 3 times, because just to get to where we needed to be.
He was very patient with
He
us.
was very patient, yeah.
Yeah, good luck. I'm excited to see you.
Oh my God.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
I'm excited about it as well. I think you should talk to the train guys. Yeah.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, we'll get some things, at least
Comic
Oh my God. Yeah, I can't believe they wouldn't see the potential.
Comic-Con Watertown.
Yeah.
So Lady Mustard will be a big draw.
Oh yeah, yeah. We've had a really good response to all the guests, but he's because I think he has some friends in the Nashville area. He's around a little bit,
Cool.
but yeah, we've had good response to him as well. So.
Right, good.
Excellent. Thank you again.
Thank you.
What else we got?
We were going to talk about the guidelines, about the adoption of these guidelines. Did you guys get a chance to look at that?
I have read part of it.
You
I
hadn't
haven't read all the way
seen it,
through.
had
You
you?
were supposed to send me the PDF.
I was?
Or
I think,
Tommy.
well, I mean, I really want you to read
I
through
can
it.
read quickly.
Well, it's pretty involved.
lengthy.
It
I mean,
is.
It's not, yeah.
Why don't we, schedule
Maybe-
another meeting in a couple of weeks or
And let's
something?
get everybody here, because I
Yeah,
would love
'cause I'd
Steve,
like-
I know Steve had some comments.
Next month.
And let's do that. I like what I see, what I've read, I like.
It's art.
But now it's gonna bring a different, attitude toward what we do here when we do this.
So the process is we adopt these, and then that carries over to council, right?
You want to elaborate on that?
They'll have to approve it.
Recommended adoption, and they would have, I think they would have to pass it.
I think you need to read
Is
it.
it 2 readings or 1 or?
That's partially by design. As I recall, the city council, when they had adopted the Historic Preservation Commission, they were okay with adopting it, but they always wanted to kind of have the stick of being the appeal and the last word if
Right.
somebody had an issue or anything, because Historic Preservation Commissions, accurate or inaccurate, they get a bad rap for being uncooperative at times. I'm not saying y'all are at all, I'm just saying in different locales. And I think that at the time it was passed the city council, one of their primary concerns they would hear from people that were opposed to adopting the historic preservation ordinance in the historic preservation district was they never wanted to have that image associated with the Historic Preservation Commission. So, and to date, I think you guys have tried to work with people and talk with people for the most part. You know, every once in a while you get to where you're having to cross swords pretty good with
Something
somebody.
rogue,
But so yes, to answer your question, this is actually, I think, part of the zoning ordinance for Watertown. And once you recommend it, it has to go through the planning commission and then subsequently the county commission, the city council.
Excuse me.
Why don't we, Mr. Chairman, why don't we set up a meeting 2 or 3 weeks from now, give everybody a chance to read?
1st of May, we had kind of been going regular about what, second or third Thursday. Yeah, we were trying to get once a month, and we got out over the holidays, we just lost it, and we didn't get back until,
What would be the, you talking about the 3rd Thursday in May or 2nd of May? Second week in May is about nearly a month off, isn't it? That'd be about
be
right.
about right. Second week in May. No.
Well, no, he said something about Thursday, and I just
Yeah.
thought this,
I think historically we had been meeting on Thursday nights, don't ask me
I think
why.
that
Second-
helps. I think
Second week is better than third week.
yeah. I figured just second week in May, try to set that Thursday. I don't know, I left my phone at the house.
13th, Thursday. the
13th of May,
Is that 13th of May?
Yes, sir.
All right.
6 o'clock.
Yep.
Specific meeting is to review the new revised regulations, historic regulations.
Yes. I think that's specific, and then who knows what may crop up.
I make a motion that we establish that date.
Second.
Okay,
All in favor?
Yes.
May 13th.
6 o'clock here. Aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
And I don't have a hard copy of that, but if y'all can send the PDF, I have access to printer.
Tom worked these up for us.
You want, go ahead and make a motion to adjourn, and because I think we're done. If you, let's say that again?
Yes,
Well, yeah, but I mean, that's up to Mike. I can't do anything.
we need it.
Yeah, I
Desperately.
I mean, Michael Stoffel's here because he's interested in being a part of it. He's
That's why you brought him in tonight.
right. Well, I've asked him if he wants to come, all he wants to come. You know, just to see how it works. Now, I don't know what the mayor has in mind.
We just need to recommend it to the mayor.
Yeah. Well, I have through the
Okay.
email. I mean, not necessarily Michael. I have mentioned to the mayor that Michael is interested. Several months ago.
I talked to the mayor, he had COVID, so he was out of the office for like 3 weeks.
Yeah, he's back and running now, Hardy.
So he just last week emailed that he's back and running.
She can tell you, you can catch him a lot of mornings between 7:30 and 8:15 over here. Is that pretty accurate? Yeah. So if you check her on the phone about 7:30, 20 minutes of 8, you'll find out a lot of times she's gonna be here.
It would be helpful to us to have a quorum if we had.
Yeah,
that.
I have a lot of, I had a good meeting
What
with
is it
him
gonna
that
take
was
to get
yesterday
him
morning.
on?
The mayor. I mean, he's the one that has to appoint it,
Yeah.
right? The mayor, yeah.
He
And he
does.
knows that Mike's interested, yeah. I mean, he knows it.
I have a lot of good meetings with him, a lot of times from the front door to the car.
No, you're good. It needs to be discussed. Mayor Mike knows about it, has known about it for several months. So, all right, I think we're done.
All right, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.